He has a fractured skull.
These guys aren't good fighters. In fact, they're terrible, and that's exactly what makes them terrifying. If The Sopranos teaches us anything about fighting, it's that fighting is a generous word for what actually happens. Nobody in that universe is going 12 rounds at Madison Square Garden.
It's like an ad for a weight loss center.
What we get instead are paunchy, middle-aged men and wiry sociopaths staggering through brawls that look less like professional combat and more like bar scuffles at last call. Yet somehow these aging, overweight gangsters regularly floor their opponents, and the disbelief it demands from viewers is both justified and misplaced.
Then I put it in dry.
Because the trick isn't skill, it's audacity.
Then he smacked Beansy with the coffee pot, broke his cheekbone.
Consider Richie Aprile smashing a coffee pot across Beansy's face, or Polly Walnuts blindsiding some poor landscaper with a shovel. These aren't examples of masterful technique, they're the textbook definition of cowardly opportunism. None of these men could stand in a ring, gloved and upright, trading blows like Ali.
Move it!
But in the dark alleys of New Jersey, where the fight begins with a sucker punch and ends with a broken bottle, they excel. Violence in this world isn't about size or form, it's about willingness. Ordinary people hesitate, weighed down by middle-class sensibilities that whisper, "Don't kick him in the groin, don't swing for the eyes, don't use that chair." Mobsters have no such qualms. The line most people never cross, they bulldoze over without hesitation.
Get the fuck up!
This explains why a short, wiry hothead like Christopher Moltisanti can stomp out a street dealer twice his size, provided he leads with a kick to the groin or pistol whipping. Or why a gray-haired relic like Feech Lamanna can humiliate a young landscaper the moment he opens up with a shot to the crotch.
Hey, yo, tell me back here, man.
The victims aren't prepared for violence on that level. Why would they be? Their lives are spent pruning hedges, running bakeries, or installing carpets, not calculating whether today is the day someone caves their skull in with a tire iron. That split second of disbelief, is this really happening, is all the advantage the mobsters need.
You fucking
The show even acknowledges the absurdity. When Tony Soprano trades blows with Ralph Cifaretto, it's two out-of-shape men huffing and clawing like angry walruses, not prize fighters. Tony B's scuffle with Mr. Kim reveals the same dynamic. Kim, a civilian, still manages to give the supposedly lethal mobster a real contest.
Let's take him down to Pine Barrens. That's South Jersey.
Strip away the sucker punches and improvised weapons, and the gangsters don't look like warriors at all.
I'm no spring chicken no more. I don't want to have me dying on you, leaving you worse off than before.
They look like middle-aged slubs who've simply rehearsed the act of casual brutality so often it's second nature.
Weapons, of course, do the heavy lifting. Chains, coffee pots, spray cans, baseball bats, the butt of a pistol. These are the mobsters' real fists.
And since Johnny Sack ain't gonna step up, guess what?
Paulie using a pipe on Jason Barone, Ralphie swinging a chain at Georgie, or Vito reaching for a pipe against Johnny Cakes. The fights are won not through raw strength, but through the willingness to escalate instantly and disproportionately.
This guy cannot come back to tell this story.
It's why nobody truly resists them. Everyone knows that standing up to a made guy doesn't end with a fist fight. It ends with a funeral. Better to absorb the humiliation and live another day.
He killed 16 Czechoslovakians. Guy was an interior decorator.
The Russian interior decorator episode is often cited as a high watermark of disbelief. Two clumsy mafiosi versus a drunken, middle-aged, ex-military man who nearly wipes the floor with them. The absurdity is the point. Even armed and doubled up, Paulie and Christopher barely survive, and only because the man is drunk. Take away their surprise attack and their pole weapon, and the decorator probably kills them both. It underscores what the series consistently portrays. These men are not skilled fighters. They are violent opportunists.
We're soldiers. Soldiers don't go to hell.
The psychology is even more chilling than the choreography. For the average person, violence is a shocking escalation, something reserved for the unimaginable. For the mobster, it's Tuesday. It is not a moral breach, but a business practice. Henry Hill's observation in Wise Guy makes it plain. They weren't the smartest, strongest, or toughest kids. Their only true talent was violence. They used it as currency, reputation, and oxygen. That willingness to maim or kill, often over the pettiest slight, is what separated them from everyone else. And that's why their fights, laughable in form, are entirely believable in function.
He has a fractured skull.
A regular man sees a confrontation as an argument, maybe a shove. A mobster sees it as an opening to smash a skull, gouge an eye, or pull a gun. That difference in expectation means the mobster almost always wins. Not because he's a better fighter, he's usually not, but because he's prepared to go places his opponent never will.
Have you lost your fucking mind? The shit you're in with that kid, what you brought on yourself.
It's why Artie Bucco, the mild-mannered chef, can briefly beat Benny to a pulp in a fit of rage. Proof that raw anger can topple a gangster when the usual script isn't followed.
In front of my wife?
But the moment Benny returns, unfazed, to plunge Artie's hand into boiling marinara, the point is clear. This isn't about who throws the cleaner punch. It's about who refuses to stop. Who is willing to cross the line again and again until the other side breaks.
So yes, it's comical to watch a pudgy Polly Walnuts or a wheezing Richie Aprile dismantle men half their age. In a boxing ring, they'd collapse before the first round bell.
With that, I hit a bang right across the fucking coconut. It goes down. I'm on top of it.
But in the grimy, rule-free world they inhabit, the combination of experience, ruthlessness, and the absolute absence of conscience makes them terrifyingly effective. Feach kicking a gardener in the groin is not unrealistic. It's the perfect distillation of the mobster's advantage. They hit first, they hit dirty, and they never lose sleep over it. Strip away the bravado, and the truth emerges. They aren't fighters, they're predators. Not skilled warriors, but men who, lacking intelligence, discipline, or talent, discovered that violence was their shortcut to power. And in the lawless back rooms of Jersey, that's all it takes. The brilliance of The Sopranos is not in pretending these men are gladiators. It's in reminding us that most of the time, it doesn't matter.
And then from nowhere, it cracks the one kid's head with a shovel.
When one side brings fists and the other brings a shovel, skill is irrelevant. The mobsters win not because they fight well, but because they fight without limits. They hit first, they hit dirty, and your finger hits subscribe.